الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may the most choicest blessings be upon our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa barak wa sallam. We continue in these bite-sized videos in relation to the third pillar of Islam, which is Zakat. As I mentioned previously, after the Shahada and after the pillar of Islam, which refers to Salah, the third pillar is that of Zakah, which is compulsory, and it is qati, it is something which is indisputed with respect to its legality and the compulsion upon us from the Quran al-Hakim and the understanding from the ulama. In a nutshell, Zakat is 2.5% of all that you own, which is beyond the nisab level. Nisab level is something which we'll cover in a little bit more detail as these videos go on. So just at this stage in your mind, if you know that nisab level, for example's sake, is around about £300, we'll elaborate on this later. So anything anybody owns, which is in most forms of wealth and assets, which is over £300, is taxable to Zakat, provided you have owned it for a certain period of time. So essentially, Zakat is based upon three main principles which you must be aware of. If you know these three principles, you will understand the system of Zakat. Okay, you will understand the foundations of Zakat. However, if you miss these three principles, you will struggle throughout your understanding of this masla and this subject according to the fiqh law. The first facet which we must be concerned with, as I mentioned, is the nisab, which, for example's sake, we've said £300 at this stage. It is around about that level, but it does vary and fluctuate. But again, that will be explained in more detail at a later stage. So the nisab level, so if you have more than this, let's say it's £300, then your property, whether it's assets, most kinds of assets, gold, silver, or all the stock that you have in business, this is culpable and eligible for zakat, anything beyond this nisab level. The second thing which we must be concerned about is the whole. Now, whole is the period of time. When we refer to zakat and zakat being taxable upon your assets, you must have earned them or your wealth for a period exceeding 12 months. All right. So once we get to the 12-month stage, at that point zakat would be taxable upon what you own. All right. So you have to have owned it and had complete possession over it for a period of 12 months. Okay. And by the way, when we come to chapters like zakat and we refer to things, when we refer to 1 year, we're actually referring to the solar year as opposed to the lunar year. Okay. We're actually referring to the solar year, which is around about 10 years less than that which is in the Gregorian calendar, which we're used to our day-to-day lives. So this is something which we must be sort of aware of. Okay, so 355 days a year. Okay, after that, zakat is payable on something that you've owned for a year, providing that you have more than sort of the nisab level. The third and final key component to zakat is sort of the miqdar. Maqdir, miqdar is plural for maqdir, which refers to rates. Okay, and we will look into further detail when we've covered the zakat on mal, on property, when we're referring to gold and silver and things like these, gold and silver and things like this, because they have their own particular rates that you have. Before you own, for example, for gold, before you own 87.5 grams of gold, there's no zakat payable on it. Okay, and so these are the three main concepts of zakat, three main sort of foundational points. If you've understood them, to develop upon this, things will become a lot more clear. I just want to leave you with one verse of the Quran, which is a consensus, and it's ijma amongst the ulama that this verse is binding. And they say, Allah says in the Quran, الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. Allah says, and whoever fails to pay zakah in this world will be raised as a kafir in the next world or in the hereafter. And this is in Surah Fussilat of the Quran. So, it shouldn't be taken lightly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand this subject and allow us to dispense our duty of zakat. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ.